Okay, let's get this thing going. So make sure that we are all good to go. And that we should be. All right. All right, let's see about this. All right, guys. So, as you guys know, they dropped this podcast. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. I'm gonna just watch like key parts of it. I watched it a little bit once already, but for the most part, I think that it was very fair to say the least. And the audio is kind of weird. Is my audio off, guys? Let me know if the audio is off. Is it an echo? Is it an echo? Check. There shouldn't be an echo. Is that any better? Tell me if it's echoing, guys. Is that any better? This is my first time streaming. Turn your mic up. It's super low. This is the first time I'm streaming on the YouTube thing. Is it still hard to hear? There's no way. I just switched my mic, so 1 second. Check, check. Is that any better? Can you guys hear me okay? There should be no echo now. Let me know when we're good to go. Yes, perfect. All right, all right, sick. Okay, so basically, as a lot of you guys know, Josh and Kaite put out this Your Couple Tea podcast a couple days ago, 12 days ago. I did watch bits and pieces of it. To say the least, I want to say it was very fair. Nothing too much that I could really say in this regard to like what they're talking about here. Obviously, we're going to put this fight to bed and move on to the next one, but I think that it's also important to get both perspectives, seeing how 78,000 people watched this and didn't hear from me. So we're going to watch a little bit of this. Like I said, I'm not going to watch the whole thing because it's an hour long, but I think that it's only fair that we get honest takes out of both sides of this. Like I said, hats off to Josh. Great win. But I'm going to give my 2 cents on this as well. So let me know if this is good to go, guys.
Said he's game. He's an athlete. He's a big dude, and it would be a heavyweight title or a heavyweight fight. And I was like, oh geez, like I'm not a heavyweight. Like I weigh 190 pounds, and heavyweight, if you guys don't know, is 200 pounds to 265. Like there's a big weight gap in there where you could fight at. And typically you weigh like 220, 240.
Sure. Well, that's why there is weight classes in boxing and even in MMA, because the weight makes a huge difference. Like, I mean, even look at like Floyd Mayweather versus like Logan Paul. That's why it was close, because like obviously the boxing skills of someone like Floyd Mayweather are so much better. But like when you have that big of a size advantage, like it makes a total,
that's the whole reason
it's a whole
weight
different
classes
game.
In fighting. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, so there's a reason there's weight classes for like safety reasons and for like a whole bunch of skills.
I was like, absolutely, I would love to punch this dude in the face. And typically when I fight, it's never like, oh, I really want to like punch this guy in the face. But like this guy, no one seems to like Chase DeMoor, whatever it is. No one seems to like him. No, he comes off very like cocky, arrogant, douchey. And that's exactly what we experienced all week long. leading up to the fight.
Yeah.
That is not entirely true. That's not entirely true. Yes, you come off cocky, arrogant, douchey, but like keep in mind, like Josh and Kaite are family-friendly YouTubers, whereas like my role is more of that's just like my social media persona. So I think that anybody who knows me personally knows that I'm not a cocky, arrogant, douchey type of guy. And I think that when they're talking about like the weight classes and stuff here, I don't know why it's echoing. Is it echoing because like I have the sound on the computer on? That's the only thing I can think of. It might just be because I'm running like two different mics or whatever it is. My voice is echoing. What the fuck? I think it might just be the YouTube Studios that messes up my voice. You guys say, does it echo when I talk or does it only echo when I play the video? Trying to figure that out. What is chat saying? Oh. Maybe if I stop recording on one of my things and just play it normal, is that any better? Let me know if that is any better. It only echoes when you talk. There's no way. Why the fuck would it be echoing? My headset has a mic, make sure it's off. If my headset has a mic, make sure it's off. Yeah, the headset is off. So I should be able to hear now.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna.
Now it's better. Okay, so now it's not echoing, right? You guys can hear me okay? I need it good to go so we can get to going. Let me see, chat. Somebody tell me. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Hey, look, we figured it out. There we go. There we go. All right, so back to the podcast. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you guys off. Okay, so what are you talking about?
Gonna dive into, and then and I was like, yes, I would love to punch him in the face. He's 6'5", he weighs 240,
Yeah.
and is gonna look sick as hell when I beat a big old dude
With such a size advantage.
Yeah.
You're gonna look even cooler. 'Cause
I looked like I've never been like, oh my
Looked
gosh,
tiny.
I
You
look
looked
tiny.
small.
I looked tiny.
like
next to
literally
that guy.
all my family members, they were like, Josh looks so tiny compared to him, and Josh is like a big dude. Like
Like
that's
I'm
weird.
6'1", I weigh
I'm pretty
190, 195 pounds, fluctuates.
Yeah.
And typically I'm either like on the taller end of people we're around, or at least like
You're never like a short
I'm never
guy.
short.
No.
But this man was 6'5".
Not
That's a
just
big
short,
dude.
but like chest body wise, like you looked
I know.
smaller. Like you just looked
I
a
was.
lot tinier than
To be
him.
fair,
And
to be
it was
fair,
really cool.
To be fair, when they're talking about like size advantages and stuff, like I said, anything after 200 is all the same. When I got the call to fight Josh, it wasn't hey, listen, these are your options. This is who you get to fight. It was more of, I got a message saying, hey, I got a fight for you if you want it. And I immediately said, yes, I want the fight. I don't care who I'm fighting. I'm not scared of anybody. I want the fight. They followed up saying, it's a dangerous opponent. This guy has 19 years of fight experience. He's got a few pro fights, this, and that. And I was like, look, I've only had one boxing match. I just started boxing in June. I don't really care how much fight experience this guy has. I want to go against the best to see like where I match up against a guy like this, because size, yes, plays a factor, but anything after 200 is all one size. And then it's a matter of skill, like how long you've been doing it, understanding how to pace yourself. And that was like the biggest thing in this fight. As you can see in this video, Josh has a black eye. I didn't get touched. That comes to like the difference in size, because he has a lot of technicality, but at the same time, I'm long. I can hit him, whereas he can't hit me. The difference in this fight was I don't understand the pace of boxing. I grew up street fighting. So understanding the pace of boxing, and I guess understanding like where your cardio resides, plays like a big factor into like how this fight is going to dictate, going down the road. So
cool, because like it was like when they were doing face off, I was like, even though Josh, because even your mom texted me, she's like, because your mom doesn't know as much about like boxing.
If you
and
don't
stuff.
know fighting, I feel like the obvious answer is you always just go with the bigger looking person.
Yeah,
and maybe
like,
scarier.
She's
like
this
she thought
guy
he looked scary.
She's like, this guy looks so much bigger than Josh. Are you sure he's gonna be okay? I said, Tammy, I said, don't worry. I said, that's not all that matters in boxing. I was like, Josh is a way better fighter. He'll be fine.
That's right.
And so anyway, we check into the hotel on Tuesday night. The fight's not till Saturday. We check in, we go to bed, and then the second day of being there, technically the first day, but
yeah, we had an open workout.
Yeah, but Wednesday we wake up, we get breakfast, and we're like, we see Chase in the lobby, and we're like, oh, that's weird. They put the fighters in the same hotel.
Yeah, so I also thought that was really weird. I had a weird experience even getting there to the fight. I remember that morning, I was like confused as to like why I saw so many people on the fight card in the same place, and I was like, surely they're not actually going to put us all in the same hotel. But little was I wrong, because when I went down for breakfast, it was the first time I've ever even seen Josh and his wife in person. So I wasn't really, it's not like I could go up to him and be like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, we're getting ready to have like this boxing match. Like, granted, it's just celebrity boxing, so it's not like, it's like super serious anyways. But obviously I didn't really know much about this guy. I don't really know like where his head's at. So I wasn't really going to just go up to him and make buddy with a guy I'm, fighting in 5 days. So I did see him that morning. I just chose not to like, say anything, because obviously I don't know him yet.
Typically for like fights, they don't usually put fighters in the same hotel, because like that's how beef starts, and like actual fighting outside of the boxing ring takes place.
Yeah.
Which almost went down this week or that weekend.
So
which is very interesting.
All of Chase and his boys or whatever are there. And then at the time, just Josh and his 3 coaches and then me are there, because all our friends hadn't arrived yet, because it's way too early. Like the fight's not till Saturday. So we go to open workout, which whatever. At first, it's just kind of like, it's like awkward, but not really, because like no one really cares. Like you're just seeing the other fighter. It's not like you hate the person.
Yeah, so at the open workout on that Wednesday, this is the first time I ever talked to Josh. I got there with my team. All of like our transportation systems were a little bit off, just because of like there was so many of us in one hotel, and they only had so many vehicles. So I got there a little bit late. Josh was like, oh, how's it going, bro? Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like weird or anything. He kind of like looked at me, and I guess, we were on like a fine page. I think that told us both enough that we're both kind of just like, let's do this thing, let's box, like whatever. There's no really big issue at the time. I'm sorry about the echo, guys. But I think at like this point, I feel like me and Josh were like, yo, what's up? Like, we're going to do this open workout, like normal like fight routine.
Person really, or anything really about him.
Yeah, we were at the open workout, and it was cool to catch up with like a bunch of people like in that scene, because obviously I haven't fought in 3 years. Like it's been a while, and I know like obviously this influencer boxing thing has become like a huge like outbreak. Like everyone's doing it now. So it's cool to catch up with all the fighters, announcers, commentators. Like they were all at this open workout, so that was cool.
It's funny because at the open workout, it was like me and one other girl that worked for DAZN, and then one of like Chase's like posse people that was a girl, and that's it. Or I don't even know.
Okay, it wasn't a posse people. I went there with, you know, my close friends, and he brought his sister. I wouldn't say it's like a posse thing, but like, to be fair, the room that we were in was also like very small. And they didn't like give rules on like who was supposed to be there or not. And like, we don't know what's going to happen at these open workouts or anything like that. And so like, nobody wants to sit at the hotel all day, so I just brought my people with me. I didn't know if he had people or if it was just his wife that he brought, so.
She was there. I was like the only girl.
This happens often in our relationship where KDB finds herself
in situations with like
where she's like might be
guys.
the only girl, which is funny because yeah, my wife, this is my ride or die, you know, dream team, teamwork makes the dream work. And yeah, of course she's going to be there supporting me. Why would she not be? And like, it's also like a content boxing like situation, which most pro boxing fights are anyways, and that's what we do for a living. We make content, so of course she's gonna be there.
Well, something I don't think people realize too is like, we're not just married, we're also business partners. Like, you're like, does anyone know like Mark Wahlberg has all his business partners fly with him to go shoot his movies and work with
in the boxing ring?
Yeah,
I didn't watch him walk out, but he might have walked out with pit vipers on. I'm not sure, or they were Oakleys.
No,
but
no,
like same
no.
thing.
I think he had some type of like
he had a mask on.
thing. But anyway, during the open workout, I first couldn't tell. Like, I was like, I don't know if he's like joking, because like he had sunglasses on. He wasn't wearing boxing.
I walked out in a very expensive uniform that my beautiful designers designed for me. It's a celebrity boxing. We're here for entertainment purposes. We're not Deontay Wilder or Conor McGregor. This is all for entertainment. So no, I did not walk out with pit vipers. I think I should have. That would have been absolutely hilarious. Maybe for the next fight I'll do that. But in the open workout, most people don't take open workouts seriously. They're just kind of just like mandatory. You have to get in front of a camera and the people, and you kind of just like hype up the fight. It's like another version of a press conference. But no, this is not a serious thing at all. I went in there and I was like, I basically had my gloves on backwards almost, and I was like laughing with my trainer. He's like, we're not going to take this super serious. Let's just, you know, go in this open workout thing or whatever, and you know, do what we got to do essentially. So that was not a serious thing at all. In fact, when Josh went up to his open workout, I'm pretty sure I left the building, went and ordered Chipotle, and then came back after he was done working out.
Shoes, and like he was not hitting mitts hard, which I think he maybe could hit mitts.
Yeah,
harder.
and to be fair, like he didn't do any warm up. He just hopped in the ring and started like hitting pads, and then like stopped. But it wasn't. It was, his footwork was kind of awkward, but like.
But I don't think he took it seriously.
He didn't take it seriously,
and that's fine. Some people do that. Some like influencers, like they either like are trying to like show, because like it's a little like promotion before the fight. Like you show a little bit of like your skill, and some people like totally make a joke of it, and some people like
for example, one fighter did it with his gloves on backwards, like
on purpose,
to be funny, but like he's a good fighter, Dean the Great. What were we talking about? Yeah, so he did his open workout and I was like, wow. And then and it's funny because like you're standing like ringside in this gym, small gym. Everyone's there. There's media, there's cameras, there's people doing interviews. Everyone's just watching you work out. And then also your opponent, who you're about to fight on Saturday night, is sitting there staring at you. So and just like commentating on every move. Like he was talking shit as I was jumping rope. He made...
That is not true at all. I in fact did not acknowledge anything towards Josh when he was working out. I remember he was staring like into my soul, and so I was like, okay, I cannot sit in here and take this serious. So I actually ended up leaving, and the DAZN people had to come to Chipotle, which was right next door, and come get me out when he was about to be done, so that we could do the interview portion.
Fun of my bedazzled shoes and my bedazzled boxing shoes,
and I'm like standing right next to him, and like I don't really care. And that's like one thing you have to realize is like some people think it's like some crap talk in fighting, it's expected, and it's like it's not that serious, it's not that deep, just because it's like it's part of the sport, it's part of the game.
I mean, to be fair, nothing he really said was like hurtful, or you know what I'm saying, like in all the lead up to the fight, nothing he said was like hurtful or like that.
I don't think.
Yeah, so like that's the thing is like I actually like Josh. I think he's a nice guy. Like I don't think he does anything bad in his life. He makes YouTube videos for kids. He's a fighter. He's a competitor. He's a fitness dude. Like I have nothing bad to say about Josh. I think he's a very humble guy. So the crap talk was more, you got to promote a fight, guys. Like I think that's like the biggest thing. So like all of like his supporters, fans, whatever, in my DMs and tagging me all these like super hateful thing. I think it's all fun and games, but you guys at the end of the day, you have to remember that it's all like celebrity like boxing. It's not. I don't hate Josh. I don't have anything bad to say. I'm not gonna disrespect him. There's no point in that. I'm gonna poke fun at what he does, yes, but like I'm not gonna say anything that's like, okay, like that, you push it too far. You know what I mean? Like I think it's all fun and games. I think that's the biggest thing.
Way too
Out
far
of line. Yeah,
Yeah,
out of
it
pocket.
wasn't out
Nothing
of line.
was really out of pocket. Like it was all fair
Like
game.
he wasn't coming at you being like, you have the ugliest wife. She's a dog. And even if he did that, even if some fighter did that, that just says something about them. I don't even think you would be like, just look little on them.
That wouldn't offend me, but I might have to Will Smith them and slap them. And repeat my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Okay, so that's the first time you guys had a face-off.
I wish I said that at the press conference so bad.
We'll get there. Let's talk about the face-off. You guys face off for the first time. You're interviewing. He's watching you interview, and then the interview goes, well, let's take this opportunity right now and like have you guys face off.
Oh man, the face-off was one of the most awkward things ever because it's like you stare into this guy's soul essentially. It's like I don't know anything about this guy, and everybody's just wanting you to do something, and you're like, you don't even know this guy. So the whole time I'm looking at this, like, mind you guys, I'm trying not to bust up laughing and crack a smile the whole time I'm watching this guy.
Well, like, to be honest, I did a couple interviews there, and like I don't know why, boy was feeling good, boy was feeling a little spicy.
Yeah, you were.
I thought it was fun to like kind of roast his his football career. I said he rode the bench and he was going to ride the canvas in the boxing ring, which is the ground if you're not familiar with that.
But leading up, he had talked a little bit more crap, I think, on social media. We didn't really like post or like roast or anything like on social media.
Yeah, totally.
Joking about the fight.
And like
that's
I said,
normal.
That's fair game. I mean, that's nothing.
No.
Like I'm not hurting his feelings. Like
yeah, I never said anything like super strange, I guess, on social media. I think it was more of like, I'm coming for you, Josh. This is I never, nothing disrespectful by any means. So, yeah, just fair promotion.
Like whatever, it's just like a little shit talk, and
which you kind of have to also build up like hype for the fight.
So the interviewer, like Chase is literally standing like 3 feet away, pulls him in, and is like, all right, well, why don't we just have you guys face off right here and talk your smack right here? And I was like, all right. He walks up and I'm like, God dang, this boy big. I'm like, holy shit.
You guys started like talking a little crap. And I think at first he almost seemed like he wasn't, I don't know if he was like talking crap.
Yeah, Loki kind of complimented me at first.
Well, he said something about your veins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So like he's sitting there looking at me like I'm so big. But no, I remember walking in, I looked at this guy and I was like, dang, he's got a like a shredded dude. Like the dude has like no body fat on him. I was like, I didn't know he was a fitness guy. So I'm looking at him like, dude's got like super vascular arms, like veins popping out. It looks like, like when you like type in your iPhone, like Apple Maps, how they have like the different roads and stuff. I was like, dang, his freaking arm looks like a dang road map. And I have some pretty good veins on mine. So like I wasn't just gassing him. I was like, you got some nice veins. I mean, like I said, I don't know the guy. I'm not gonna go and attack him directly. I started with a compliment. It's all fun and games, poke some fun. Like, you got some nice veins, bro. I think I got a chuckle out of him. It wasn't anything bad.
He said something about my big arms or whatever, which has nothing to do with fighting, but
yeah, he was like something about a roadmap with your veins or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know. At first he kind of complimented you, but then he was kind of like roasting a little bit. You guys both were like poking fun. And then you said
that was nothing that too serious. He was just like, oh, I think he bit off more than he can chew, blah, blah, blah. And and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I talked smack right there and then, but.
And so you guys just had a little smack talk. And then like after, it seemed pretty like good. Like he shook your hand. You guys both shook hands.
Yeah, you
So
know,
you
little
guys like
dab
were
up.
both like, all right, yeah. And then you guys had like a face off, and you guys had a long face off, and then you guys like both laughed after.
Dude,
so
the
like
face
whatever.
offs is
They're so
that is the
awkward.
most
Oh yeah, what's with the face off, bro? I'm like looking at him, and I'm not trying to laugh, and he's not trying to laugh, but I could see he wants to laugh, and I know I want to laugh. So we kind of had like a little giggling moment, and like I think at the end of it, I even shook his hand. I was like, all right, bro. And we said like good luck to each other, and we moved on after that.
awkward thing in fighting, but like in an enjoyable way. Like I embrace awkwardness. Like I enjoy it. And it's just funny when you think about it because like literally so many people are watching you guys.
Yeah.
And then you two are staring, soul gazing into each other's eyes,
It's so
thinking
awkward.
about beating the crap out of each
You're
other.
like, and it also looks like you're gonna kiss.
yeah, also like
Sus.
okay,
Pause.
I don't think that part.
Everyone thinks that. It's like when
Pause.
your face is so close and it's like from an outside
Yeah.
perspective, you're like, damn.
But like
they
you're
about to kiss.
both like when the stakes aren't like very high, there was no like real beef there, like we're both just sitting there trying not to laugh.
Yeah, like, trying to act
or
tough
in
or,
my
like-
opinion, I'm just sitting there trying not to laugh. I'm just trying to hold it in.
Because you don't really have like too much like hate, I feel like, in you. So
No,
it's like hard
I
to
fight-
find that.
I-
So it's like funny. It's like
I fight for competition for like the lifestyle of
Yeah.
boxing is just so insane, and that's why we want to do this podcast, is just talk about it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so crazy to think about. So like that's why I fight. I don't fight because I'm not an angry person. But
No.
and he even called me out on it. He's like, I see you want to laugh, and then we both like laughed and then dabbed each other up, and it was cool. Whatever. But
so
go ahead.
okay, so before that, when we were in the hotel, I was going to get breakfast, and I went in the elevator without Josh, and I was in the elevator, and like all these guys were talking about something, and then they were like, "Oh, are you here for boxing?" Or I said, I was like, "Oh,
Ball, like I brought my shooters, pointed all
no,
his
don't ruin
boys.
the story. You gotta say the story good."
And I just kind of said like I wasn't like that impressed, blah blah blah. Like I hope he's been training hard. Like this is gonna be a lot tougher fight than his last fight. And then he basically just went in total different direction and came out and was like, oh blah blah blah. Like I brought my shooters, pointed all
No,
his
don't ruin
boys.
the story. You gotta say the story good.
That is it. He said, I brought all my shooters. You came with your girlfriend. And then he goes, you put makeup on YouTube videos and make cringy couple lovey-dovey stuff. You're no proposal after this one. And he was like, yeah, that's really what he said. And
Okay,
I was
so-
like, what the?
Okay, so in my defense for all of these things, this is all fair game in talking things up. I said nothing that was untrue. I came with my posse, as he would call it, my shooters. It's a term that, me and my friends go by. We're all shooters. Like this, what I mean, you tell us where to go, we're there. Doesn't mean like we're criminals and we're gonna come shoot you as whatever the heck that they think that this is. And then of course I'm gonna poke fun at his makeup gang. You know what I mean? And he made a comment saying like, yes, he brought his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, and he's asking like where mine is. Assuming that I have a girlfriend that was supposed to be at this fight. So I didn't really understand that. But yeah, and I poke fun at the makeup thing because obviously like I don't know anything about this guy. He just said he had a makeup company. So like, I YouTube his videos. I see his girlfriend putting makeup on him. If I'm going into a fight, why would I not bring that up?
The hell does any of this have to do with boxing?
He comes out saying he's like, oh, I don't know, I'm not that impressed. Like your MMA career, like whatever. Like I saw a couple knockouts, couple proposes, couple
two
broken
broken
ankles. And then Josh goes, bro, that wasn't dirt biking. That wasn't dirt biking. And so like one of his like insults on Josh was that he broke his ankles. And Josh was like, I literally broke them dirt
Broke my
biking.
ankles dirt biking, bro. What's that have to do with
Which had
boxing?
nothing to do with boxing, which I just thought was funny.
I think it was
I mean, in boxing, your ankles are 90% of your power. So if you break your ankles, it kind of throws your balance off. So it does slightly have to do with boxing. I didn't even know the kid dirt biked. So, I mean, like, I just knew he broke his ankles because that's what Mams told me.
just trying to come at my existence, which kind of it seemed like which
didn't-
is fine because he doesn't have anything to say about my fighting.
But then he's like, man, whatever, bro. I don't care. I make more money than you. I have more followers than you. And Josh goes, my dog gets more likes than you, bro.
The thing is, I hate about press conferences or
know
like
about
bullies. Like I feel like it's kind of like
It's a
the
really
same
like
scenario. It's just like basically like just the louder, more like aggressive person wins that
Yeah.
scenario because there's no one like really stopping someone from talking over it. And like he was a louder guy than me. Like,
screaming over you.
how am I gonna talk over this
was
dude? And
definitely
he's just
not
gonna go
screaming
blah blah
over him.
blah when I start
I let
talking.
him
It's like
talk and then I
I don't
was
care. Like, okay, you have 1.2 million followers on Instagram. You get
No.
500 likes. My dog gets more likes on Instagram than you do.
He had 1 million followers. The next day after the press conference, he had 1.2 million.
Oh, Katie, what? Katie, if you're gonna stalk my Instagram, Katie, you should at least know that I've been at 1.2 million followers for probably like 4 or 5 months now. Like, I made a whole YouTube video when I hit over 1 million. So I don't really know where you were going with that or why you're so pressed about it, but yeah, no, Katie.
He went
Followers.
and bought some followers. He goes down in followers every day. You can see it. And
I'm on 5 different TV shows, bro. 5 different TV shows. Not to mention I have a pretty mass following on social media. On top of, I play football, I'm a boxer, and I obviously do a lot of other things outside of that. I don't need to buy followers. I don't even know how to do that. I have a strong following and a fan base. Obviously, I do well for myself. So, yeah, I don't know where you guys are going with that. This is not a like, you guys built your reputation off of YouTube. I built mine off of TV. It's not the same. So,
Which mind you,
who cares? Like, this has nothing to do with fighting.
This has nothing to do with it. But it's like, if you're going to say something, you're going to respond.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's annoying to me, because at a press conference like that, it's like, oh, like, people probably, if you're watching that, you'd be like, oh, like, what he said was true, because like I'm not going to sit there and debunk everything he said. Well, actually, your net worth is not even close to ours, which he brought up in the weigh-ins as well.
Okay, wait. So
you don't.
I actually I haven't looked up our net worth in so long. And so
And this is also Google too. It's not even facts.
This is Google.
It's not even facts.
So
I don't know anything about you guys. Like, I don't know why they're even bringing this up. Like, he's the one that said, what do you own? He kept on bringing that up. He asked me that, obviously, and I told him what I owned. And then he brought, like, all I did was match what he was saying. I matched the exact same energy. So I don't know why he's pretending like he didn't even bring it up first. So.
And I Googled his name, and then I Googled JD Vlogs, and our net worth was 9 times more than what his said. So I was like, where did he get this information? Like, and that doesn't matter. How does that help you in your boxing career?
It doesn't.
But like, don't be.
So if I have a net worth of 4 million, for you who don't know what net worth is, it's all based off of assets that you own, businesses, etc. If they have 9 times 4 million, that's impressive. I give them props.
Feel like, oh, I'm so much better. I make more money than you. When, like, first of all, you don't. Second of all, like, I just thought that was so funny. I was like, yeah, you have more followers, but like, who has an audience, like a loyal audience?
And what's funny is
you guys are YouTubers. It's not the same.
He actually tried to roast our audience too,
for being young little girls,
and which, like, kind of, honestly, I feel like it just everything he said just reflected his own, like, insecurities, like the money thing. Like, I think he's insecure because
you brought up the money, bro. I've never, like, I own charities, bro. I give back for the holidays. I'm avid on giving back to, like, low income communities. I do it an annual thing. I take my friends and family on vacation. I bought my mom a car, a house. Like, I have never once said anything that revolves around money outside of what you have said. So just so we're abundantly clear, I'm glad you do well for yourself, bro, but that has nothing to do with anything that we were talking about, because also remember that you were the first one that brought up that the only reason I was fighting was for a paycheck, so, which is also cap. So anyways, continue.
He probably knew ours was higher than his, but like, why does that matter? It doesn't.
That might matter to him.
The followers thing, yeah, he has more, but he knows we have a loyal audience, a real audience. We're not buying our followers.
Well, because you guys commented so much on his page,
all his
more than
comments are
whatever
from you guys.
fans he had. He's like, bro, I'm getting like wrecked on my page because he doesn't have an audience. And what I'm saying here is just like, he was trying to come at us for having young little girl audience, which, first of all, even if every single one of you guys was 13 years old, what's that got to do with anything? Yeah,
it has nothing to do with
and
anything.
He's like, you just take money from kids. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, every person, we also, like, we sell things, we bring value, I think, in any.
And that's another thing is, like, I yes, I have a team shop where I have my own clothing on there, but it's all optional. I don't ever promote it in any of my brands. I am big on, obviously, I played sports as a little kid. I give back to a lot of sports programs. I don't ever charge kids for anything. I do free camps, free meet and greets, free, football training seminars. I do a lot of stuff in the community that I don't talk about, nor do I post because I think it's kind of cringe. In fact, if any of you guys go to my Twitter, you will see that even before this podcast came out, I had tweeted out my own personal email with options for people to email me, families in need, so that I could feed them during the holiday season, completely anonymous. So I'm big on not selling things to little kids. That was the one thing that I saw that they did that I did bring up in a press conference. So obviously they're going to talk about it because it was a solid point.
Thing that we ever sell.
That's how a business works.
Because that's how a
You
business
wouldn't know
works.
that.
And I was like, I've read so many comments, like people of like not taking their lives, people of like getting out of depression, people losing weight, so many positive feedbacks of like what we've done in people's lives. So like for someone to say like, oh, you just take people's money, I'm like, it makes me question. I'm like, is that what he does? Like, is that what you do? Like on like, whatever platforms like OnlyFans or whatever brand deals or things that he does.
That's the thing. Like I didn't do my research. I don't really know what he does. Like, and he also tried to come for me for, he was like, oh, I did it all by myself. Like you had to have a girl. Like,
that's a true statement. I'm not making that up. I did do it all by myself. I didn't need a girlfriend or a couples channel. That's a fair point. That's not even a roast. That's a straight fact.
a couple channel. I'm like, okay, first of all, what does that mean? Second of all,
All
you
by
didn't do
yourself.
anything yourself. You just got on a Netflix TV show and you got pumped up from it. Like,
No, not true. Not true. You have to have some sort of credibility to even get on these Netflix shows. And not only did I do one Netflix show, I've done 5. I've done 5 different TV shows. So you can't really say that that's not hard work. So I don't really know where you're going with that.
Well, yeah, I was like, it takes one
what
thing.
did you do yourself? Like, what did you do that was so hard working? Like, you just literally.
You want to see? I got you guys right here. I'll show you something hard working. If I can click. Here you guys go. And I feel like I haven't felt that. Oh my. And I feel like I haven't felt that. Oh my. It's called being funny. It's funny, guys. It's entertainment. Anyways, carry on.
Got on an MTV show to be yourself, a douchebag,
Like to get
and then got some followers
People
from it.
laugh.
to get like big
Netflix to make people laugh, not MTV to be a douchebag. That's a low blow, G.
on YouTube or to get audience on YouTube, it takes so much dedication and work and passion to get big off of something like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, or like an MTV show or like a Netflix show. It's like, you can't really be like, oh, it's so much harder working, because I was like, I don't know, you almost got put on this platform. It's like you got put on something
You
rather
went to
than
a
you worked for
nice
something.
island and hung out and got drunk
And probably talked to a whole bunch of girls.
What hard working was that?
2 points to this. Let's talk about one. I'm on United by Football on Fox, a season in the USFL for my pro football career that for some reason you think I rode the bench in. 2, I won the Netflix reality games. You guys can all find it on YouTube. There's like 4 or 5 episodes of that. I won that with a team of people. 3, The Floor is Lava season 2 with Harry and Taylor Holder. I won that as well. 4 was Too Hot to Handle, yes. And then 5, I have an undisclosed show that I'm under NDA that is yet to be announced yet. So I would not say it's a one and done type of thing. So anyways, continue.
But yeah, I mean, whatever. And good for him for getting on that show.
And
guess
I
that's
don't
cool.
care if there was like someone who was like who got big from something, or like maybe they didn't work as hard for it. It's not about that. It's more
What about the Kardashians? What about the Kardashians? Jake Paul? Like all these people that were on TV and then transitioned over. But okay, go ahead.
more so that he's like coming after us, and it's like, but that's not true. You can't really say that. And my favorite line, I don't know why, I just love that Josh goes, he's like, well, he goes, first, that's my wife. And then he goes, my dog gets more likes than you. And like, because he was.
What is with this dog? Like, who is this dog? They keep bringing this dog up. I want to see this dog's Instagram page because that's impressive.
Trying to say like he's so big. And I'm like, little old Topper, little old Topper has more engagement and more of a like people.
Because you guys care about engagement because you guys are influencers and I'm a TV personality. Like, I don't understand the relevancy here. That's the equivalent of saying like you guys do better in your job and I only do okay in your job and I do something completely different.
People supporting a dog than like him.
Which again, like none of that matters in anything.
No,
but like when you're gonna
do.
don't come for me for all this stuff. Like it's not like I brought it up and then he was trying to clap back. Like he brought it up.
He just what he really was trying to do. I think he was.
You definitely brought it up. Quit scapegoating, right? You were the one that brought it up, bro. I was talking about makeup. You started talking about likes.
Trying to get like in your head by like bringing me up, and I think he thought that
work.
was like that. It doesn't matter because I'm like one of the only girls there. There's a couple other girls there. And it's just saying like, I brought my shooters and you brought your wife.
And what's funny is like, he said he brought his shooters. Like, first of all, they don't fight for you on Saturday night. Second of all, you brought a whole posse of like 15 people because you're scared. And
you bought a security guard
because you're scared. I brought
What exactly am I scared of? I'm not scared of anything. I brought my crew because my team is there. It's a team effort that gets us ready for these fights. And two, I brought a security guard because, as many of you guys know, in my last press conference, I got punched in the face. Matter of fact, I think I could pull up the clip here. I got punched in the face in my last press conference. Where is it at? Right here. Here you guys go.
Give it up for Corey Ward, Team Chase DeMoor, ladies and gentlemen, the ceremonial stare down here.
I came to this by myself.
This will kick off Social Gloves 2 on pay-per-view this Saturday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time from the Bank of California Stadium.
Face each other, please.
And here we go, the heavyweights going at it. Chase DeMoor, Corey Ward. Chill out. Corey Ward saying it's ending in 2 or less. Oh boy. We saw a little bit of a southpaw jab. Hold on a minute. All right.
And that is why I brought a security guard. So yeah, I'm not sure like what the point of it. I'm sorry that I care about my safety. I don't want to get punched in the face by you and your fans that are sending me death threats in my inbox that you're so proud of. So anyways, right, continue.
3 of my teammates
and his wife.
2 of my teammates, my coach, and my wife, because I do not care. I do not fear you.
He's a 6'5" dude who weighed more than you. And yeah, but anyway, it's just funny because it's like he's trying to roast for you having a loyal support team. And to me, I'm just like,
they're going back and forth right here a lot.
Yeah, I'm his wife, dude. What wife wouldn't come? Like, who wouldn't? Like, and that's what even like your boxing coach is like, and then even like one of the girls who worked for DAZN, she's like, oh yeah, fighters always bring their wife. Like the real fighters bring their family and their kids.
Hashtag
and
where's
and
your
coach.
Girlfriend? Because
yeah, that was Joshy B's like
apparently
the
dude from inside sources has a girlfriend, but like claims to not have a girlfriend. And
who is my girlfriend that they keep like bringing up? Who is my girlfriend? I don't understand like what his premise of that. I had a girlfriend for 6 years. I broke up with her. I went on 2 at the handle. I dated this other girl for maybe a month after that. But I don't understand like what they were talking about a girlfriend that they seem to think that I have.
And we happen to know the girl, but like just saying to you, if you're listening, you could do way better, girl.
That's okay, but I want to talk about this because that's.
I'm assuming he's talking about Gab because they are all couples channels because I went to a couples retreat with Gab's boyfriend and him. I would definitely say that I don't really understand the roast there and like why he's saying, oh girl, you could do way better, as if like I'm this horrible person just because we had a boxing match and I brought up makeup. I think that's a little bit crossing the line, a little bit disrespectful there when, like I said, it was just like a celebrity boxing match for the entertainment of people, and apparently they can do better because we know a mutual girl named Gab, and I hang out with her often because we are friends. And he went to a couples retreat with her, and now she deserves better because I'm not exactly sure why. He's speaking as if I'm some sort of like criminal, and I do so wrong in my life that I don't deserve anything. So that's again another low blow that I think is a little bit too far.
That's where I honestly, like, at first I was like, I don't want to bring up necessarily her name or anything because you guys probably know. Because we like her.
I was
we
just
like
asking where
lot.
she was at because I was under the.
So again, it kind of goes back to how Gab was getting tagged in all of his stuff. We all know who he's talking about here. And he's not just asking. What he's doing is he's trying to get a reaction out of me because he knows that she's not my girlfriend. And he's just trying to find something to expose about it. Like I said, I think that was like a really uncalled for low blow. So I'm not really sure where he's going at with this. But anyways, continue.
The impression that was his girlfriend. I was like, did you not let her come? Are you scared to get beat up in front of her?
No shot you would ever beat me up.
Which maybe it's a good thing she didn't come.
But no, the thing that to me, and then when he goes, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm like, I feel bad for this girl listening to this, but I hope she sees that and realizes that she could do way better because that kid's never going to be what a girl would want.
The kid's never going to be what a girl would want. Never would have a master's degree. Never would be financially stable. Never would be tall, handsome, good looking. Doing all these fun, successful things in her life and did it all by themselves without a couple channel. Yeah, a girl would never want that, Katie. You're exactly right. And I'm glad that you know her, Katie. I'm glad that you guys are friends. But like I said, I'm not really sure like what this low blow you're trying to take right here is. But feel free to run with it.
Maybe unless he has a total reevaluation of like, I'm like, that is not a loyal guy. That is not a nice guy. That's a guy who's like a little more obsessed with himself than he'll be.
So you're mad because I'm not telling a false truth about somebody being my girlfriend when they're not. Okay. Makes sense, Katie. Keep going.
You know, I was like, and knowing that girl, I'm like, stay away from him. Like, please, like do your.
Like you're talking about me getting beat up. Dog has a black eye right here with 19 years of fight experience, and I walked away unscathed. I lost a fight because I got tired and punched in the back of the head. I was punching the heck out of this dude. Look at his face versus mine. I didn't get touched. I got punched a total of 2 or 3 times by this guy. That's why our fight photos are entirely different. We have entirely different fight photos. It's you have a body shot of me and me with my eyes wide open because I'm tired. And I have 3 or 4 angles of me punching you in the face. Anyways.
Do yourself a favor, but none of my business. You can do whatever you want.
And I usually, and it's not like I have no hard feelings towards the kids. Like
no, I don't really
towards
care.
The kid. I honestly do not care whatsoever. But like, I'm usually give people the benefit of the doubt and everything. I was like, oh, maybe he just like plays this like hard guy online, blah blah blah. Like, nah, this kid.
I was tired because, like I said, this guy has fought for 19 years. He knows how to pace himself in a fight. That was my second fight ever. Nobody wanted to fight him because this is the best that YouTube boxing has to offer. Like he's the world beater, the world destroyer, whatever it is. And I was just a kid that just started boxing and I took on the fight. So congrats to Josh. He knows how to pace himself. But like I said, when the rematch happens and I'm more conditioned, I don't see the same result happening.
It is like very self-centered and douchey,
but whatever.
Way to each their own. I mean, that's what got him his career with the Netflix show, so it worked.
But anyway, we're basically spending the whole week with his posse, his shooters, as he likes to call them.
Well, yeah, because okay, let me explain. At the hotel, so it's an Embassy Suites hotel, and like it was literally like the center of the hotel is a lobby, and then there's no hallways. Like, my whole team has been there all week. What's happening?
So Dylan Dennis ran out of the hotel.
And then like eventually I went upstairs, I had lunch, and
he's like, bet your life. Like, wait, what? What do you mean bet your life? Like, what are you going to kill him if he loses? Like, what is
he money? That's why he was trying to bet on me. What do you mean?
Yeah. So he was like he was looking around for any of his friends. I was like, I don't see any of them. And then you're about to walk out and Chase's people walk out in front of us. They're literally sitting right next to us, which normally like I don't think they.
Okay, I remember this. My friends did tell me about this. They said that they were out there chirping, and it wasn't just friendly banter. Katie here was apparently calling, and there's a video of it that I said not to post because it's damaging of brand, but of her saying some very not so nice things to the one lady that was in our group. And the guy that she's talking about that pressed her at the hotel afterwards, or pressed them at the hotel afterwards, was her brother that was saying that they don't need to bring their family into it, especially calling explicit names over a boxing match. So I know what they're talking about right here. But like I said, like, I'm not the type that's going to go post the video of her saying what she said. But let's just say it wasn't very nice, Katie, and you know better than that.
They normally put like the families on the same
So
side.
technically
either.
with like fighting, you would never put like the families or like when you separate the tickets, like because the company gives us the tickets, like you would separate fighters tickets because like obviously there's going to be family drama, whatever beef, like
you're screaming for
it's
the other
fighting,
person.
you know, you're screaming like knock him out, punch him here, do this, like, and then people get like weird about it. Like there's always altercations like that during fights. But yeah, apparently they were, well, not apparently, I saw it.
No,
they were sitting right next to each other, which was awesome.
So Ricky, I guess it doesn't really matter. One of our friends goes out.
Not Katie's brother, by the way. It was the person that was in my corner who brought his sister to the fight. She was saying things about his sister.
And he asked
He was just trying to bet the guy.
He was just trying to bet, and he's like, "Oh, like,
just a
will you
friendly
bet?"
wager.
Like, he's like, "Hey, will you bet on your boy?" And then he's like, "I'll bet you $1,000." And then it got all the way up to apparently like $25,000.
They were just throwing money.
They were trying to talk, and the guy goes, he basically didn't want to say no. He's not going to bet him.
He said, "Bet your life."
He goes, "Why don't you bet your life?"
No, that's not true. My friend said bet 25K. He said bet in the back, and the friend didn't say anything after that. So this is all cap. So I don't know what he's talking about here.
Like, and I'm like, the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Bet your life. And he's like, "No, bro, like, let's just bet." And he's like, "Bet your life." Like, wait, what? What do you mean bet your life? Like, what are you going to kill him if he loses? Like, what does that even mean? And so anyway.
Over a celebrity boxing match, remind you guys, like, this is so inflated. Like, none of my friends would ever say this. And I also wasn't down there. So I don't know what was exactly said other than what my friends told me about what they were saying. So like I said, there's two sides to every story and then what actually happened. So I'm sure this had to go both ways because I seriously doubt that a bunch of my friends who are also on Netflix would just randomly start attacking Katie and her friends. So
he starts getting so mad because we're chanting, we're hollering, we're like,
when you
let's go, Josh, like F him up, like not like we're just like hype, like, you know, it's sporting, and we're like, let's go. We're like, let's go.
That's fair. It's all fair. You should be able to chant in sporting events.
And then they're like, "Where's your girlfriend?" Like all like the chirping because he chirped us so hard the whole week, and now Josh's squad was there, fired up, ready to go.
My boys, yeah, they get hype and like they're fire at talking shit. Like this is competition. This is sports. Like that's what if you.
They're all terrible at talking, and I am not taking any credit away, but like they're not the best shit talkers. I would say like they're not very good at it, and I'm just gonna say that.
Go to any football game, it's called hackling. Like that's what people do. Like teams do it. Like same thing happens in fights, except the other team usually gets very salty when they lose because you just lost a fight instead of a football game. And even football teams get salty too. But like, yeah, his boys they took it a little to heart.
Round 2, we're chanting. We're like, "Why so quiet?"
Yeah, because his boys, his shooters weren't saying nothing.
We won round 1, so I'm not really sure like what he's talking about in round 2. They started chanting that after like clearly I got hit in the back of the head and I got checked to make sure I was good.
Because he talked so big about his shooter, his posse, and our whole posse's there. And
this is a simple definition: all bark, no bite.
So anyway,
I hope he's not talking about me because, again.
whatever. Like we don't hate Chase's people. We don't hate Chase. We don't really care. But they're like talking crap. It's sporting. Like that's what it is. And so he starts going back and he's like, "Shut your pussy ass." Anyway, then we're all like, okay, like we're all excited. Like Josh just.
Fact, it's like, okay, like now we're all going back to the same place. We're literally gonna cross paths together. That's where it was.
They were acting like a far line was crossed, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, they're talking about the far line is back when I was telling you guys that they had told me that Katie here was saying some very disrespectful things about the girl that was in our group, like calling her very inappropriate names, and they recorded her on a phone and showed it to me and asked me if they should post it, and I said no. it's not that deep. It's not that serious to where we need to damage reputations like that. So while she's playing innocent here, she did say some very inappropriate things. I did see it, and that is why they were at the hotel waiting to talk to them and say, yo, that's not cool. You can't really say that about our family members, especially over a celebrity boxing match. So they know what they're talking about. And then his boy and him did apologize. They did squash the beef. They did say, yeah, that was a little bit too far, and they moved on from it. I'm sure that he had showed them they had the video of Kaite saying this or whatever it is. But yes, that is what they addressed her at the hotel. Again, I was not there. I don't know. I was in the locker room getting my stuff packed up and leaving. I know that Josh did come by the locker room to check to see if I was okay, to check, congratulate the fight. There's no beef there, so I do give him credit for that. I was not around when he had came. They just told me that he had came very quickly, and then he had left. There was no cameras when he came, so I know it was very genuine, so I do appreciate that from him. But yeah, so that's what they're talking about.
What was said?
I thought like something like you can't come back from was said, and I go out there and ask my friends, and like, nah, we were just trying to bet him, like.
Yeah, so Josh doesn't know either. So he went out there and he asked his friends. His friends obviously aren't going to say what they actually said, but that's what he's talking about right here. He said he went out there and asked them, and they said, no, we were just betting. There was a little bit more to it than that.
And we were just chanting like the normal things like you would chant at a fight. And I'm like, oh, whatever. Like after they told me that, I was like, oh, I mean, no one's going to shoot you over that. That would be stupid.
I would hope not.
But
anyway, so we had a police escort just in case, because I was like, I don't want to fight.
He had a police escort, and they just gave me crap about having an armed security guard.
To break out, because we have a ton of girls. We have all our
True.
friends. I'm
Gotta
like,
keep the
my
girls
mom's
safe.
there, my aunt's there, my sister. Friends
Fine.
were holding him up, and he was like looking like every direction.
My friends were
And, like,
okay, so they were not holding me up. I was walking out, and my security guard was talking to me, and I had my arm around his shoulder. That's not holding me up. That's my security guard walking with me, talking about, telling me that her and her friends were acting ridiculous, and that he was concerned for my safety because after the last fight, the last fighter came to the locker room to jump me. So I'm not really sure what they're talking about here. And when they say I was seeing 3, that wasn't the case at all. The doctor came up and said, I saw the punch to the back of the head. He goes like this. He's like, how many fingers am I holding up? And I said, you're holding up 3. And he was like, no, it's 2. And they waved it off and gave an RTD. It was not my choice. I said, yes, I want to continue fighting. I said that in the second round. I was going to catch my breath in the third round and finish it off in the fourth round. But my coach, who sent me a text that I posted on Twitter, took complete responsibility, said that we have a lot going for us in our life. It's not worth a celebrity boxing match. We don't know what's going to happen. Josh has a lot of experience in this. I'm starting to get tired. It's hard to think when you're tired. So they threw it in, not I. I wanted to keep going. So I want to make that completely transparent. And so when me and Josh have our rematch, because it will happen, I will make sure that happens. I will even fight at Josh's weight for him, and we can both pace ourselves. So that's abundantly clear that Josh won on an RTD. That's a retirement referee decision in the corner. Yeah, so it wasn't a knockout, it wasn't a TKO, it wasn't a point system, it wasn't anything. He got an RTD and he got the belt. That's how it happened. And that's no cap, that's no inflation, that's simply how it happened. But continue.
It was a good fight. Like, I don't know, not even like disrespect to him, but it's like you can't really say like, oh, you didn't get touched. Like,
yeah,
even
but
you,
the
like,
thing
it
is,
doesn't
like,
matter if you got touched.
the thing is though, like, and I will say this, like, I do respect anyone that gets in the ring. It takes confidence and balls, but at the same time, like, be smart. Like, like respect yourself and like
don't
get better training or whatever.
Well,
And that's also a thing too, is understanding you don't really know what to train for if you've never really been in that many fights. Josh here has a big, extensive fight background. Again, I don't think people are crediting that the fact that nobody wanted to take a fight against this guy for 2 years because of his extensive pro fighting background, that who stepped into influencer boxing and fought a guy that's only had 1 fight. You know what I mean? So the fact that I walked away unscathed says enough about my potential in this sport. And the second thing is like the first guy, I beat the heck out of him. Didn't really learn much. Josh, I landed my shots. I know what I did good, and I know what I need to improve on. Now you all disrespect aside, he put me in that ring with some conditioning. I didn't spar before, even going into the Josh fight. I don't think I had a single spar. So, you give me some sparring, you give me some conditioning, and then we go back into that fight with a couple more months technique. And that's whether you guys love Josh or not, that's you guys know it's going to be a completely different fight at that point.
That's kind of
or train harder. I mean, you know what you signed up for. Like, train harder, take it more seriously.
You're fighting. Don't make a joke of fighting. Make it like, it's not like, that's the one thing with influencer boxing is sometimes it's like, I respect the influencers who are getting there and actually like working and like not just trying to make like a joke of it.
There's a
like,
couple.
It's a sport.
Yeah, there's a couple that aren't like about it, but there's a good majority now that like are actually taking training very seriously.
And those are the
like,
good fights.
They look good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the main event was sick.
Again, guys, these are guys who have had extensive fight careers. My second fight ever. You give me a couple of months, like I'm taking now, like the training I'm going through now, my next fight is going to be night and day. It was night and day from the first one, it's going to be night and day from the second one. And a lot of like going into like this Josh fight, everybody's telling me you need to knock him out, you need to knock him out. You listen to a lot of people talk about how, big, strong, powerful, quick, deadly Josh is, how everybody's saying you got stones for fighting and this and that. I think that a lot of that played into the factor of how I went out there and I was just quickly trying to gas him. So, the next time we fight him, we're not going to have the cardio issue. We're not going to have the conditioning issue. We're going to have like a legitimate boxing match. And then we're going to see who actually gets through that, and that's no disrespect to Josh. Again, congrats on his win. I have nothing bad to say about Josh. I think he's a nice guy. Has nothing bad to say about Kaite. What I'm saying is, in this world of influencing boxing, which you need to help with the sport, just as much as you need these pro fighters, you have all these pro fighters that now want to step in the influencing boxing scene because it's a lot easier than these pro fights because now you're fighting guys with no fight experience. If I had the same fight experience as Josh, it's not the same fight. You know what I mean? So credit to him. Congrats to his belt. I think that's enough of my reaction from this video. That's my little tea on it. And, I hope that, he continues to win and be successful, but at the same time, I hope that he understands that I'm training every day and I'm coming back for the belt, which is truthfully mine. And that's as simple as that. And all of the supporters out there that watch this podcast, that's just my take on it. And whether you want to be salty or not about it, like I said, that's on you. I have nothing bad to say about him or his wife. Simple fair play, and I guess that'll be that. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video, and we'll see you guys at the next one. So thanks for tuning in.